This weekend's events in London and Nuneaton are exposed once again um, as the Home Office's long standing inability to distinguish between genuine threats to public safety and politically awkward dissent. An incapacity stretching way back to through Yvette Cooper to Theresa May and David Blunkett and every Home Secretary in between. The in-betweeners being Suella Braverman, Priti Patel, and Sajid Javid, and Amber Rudd. Let's start. And Amber Rudd wasn't so bad actually. Let's start with the London, probably because she resigned. Let's because she had to take the flak for Theresa May. Let's start with the London numbers. 474 people arrested in a single day, the overwhelming majority for holding a cardboard sign with the words "I oppose genocide, I support Palestine action." No stones thrown, no petrol bombs, no mass disorder, but charged under terrorism legislation that was designed for bomb plots, not for pensioners outside Parliament. The misuse of the Terrorism Act here is not a technicality, it's a deliberate policy choice. Prescribing Palestine action for vandalism and trespass was already controversial, given that the criminal law has ample tools for dealing with damage to property and that level of violence. But to escalate that prescription into a sweeping criminalisation of mere words or symbols is a fundamental inversion of proportionality and a demonstration of stupidity at the top of the Home Office. Amnesty International is correct. It is absurd to treat a silent, non-violent vigil in the shadow of Gandhi's statue as if it were a training camp for armed insurrection. Then there's the resource question. The Met drew in officers from across the country, cancelled leave and drained already thin policing capacity. Processing almost 500 arrests took up cells, custody staff, court time and paperwork, and that will last for days. All while neighbourhood crime, domestic violence, follow-ups and burglary investigations sit on the pending pile. It's a colossal diversion of key resources to enforce a law that is almost certain to be narrowed or struck down when the judicial review lands in November. The Nuneaton protests show the other side of this coin. Here, far-right groups exploited an horrific alleged crime to whip up anti-migrant sentiment, chant over re-migration, and openly court figures like Tommy Robinson. More on Tommy Robinson later. Police managed the event without mass arrests, but the underlying problem, the slow, expensive and inefficient asylum-seeking system, fuels precisely this kind of extremism. And here's the maddening part. We are paying for it, literally, £8 million a day, closer now to £108 million a month, to keep asylum seekers in hotels owned by chains that often provide squalid, unsafe conditions. And that's when they're working as hotels. That's money going straight into corporate pockets for a service everyone agrees is temporary, inadequate and socially toxic. The option is simple. Close the hotels, take a fraction of that budget and hire the civil servants. Spend some money recruiting, spend some money training. Even that, with the training, with the recruiting, with the hiring, you will save money on the amount of money that you're currently spending putting money into these second-rate hotels. The hotels, if they're acting as hotels, they're charging half as much as they're actually charging to the Home Office. Home Office is getting a double bill. And those found to be genuine refugees should move swiftly into work in the communities, reducing welfare costs, increasing tax receipts, and those whose claims fail should be removed promptly, which becomes easier when the system is fast and predictable, not clogged up and backlogged. Instead, we're left with the worst of both worlds. Thousands in legal limbo, communities angry about indefinite hotel stays, far-right agitators weaponizing isolated crimes, peaceful protesters criminalized under terrorism law for holding a piece of paper. It's a perfect storm of political cowardice and administrative incompetence. And all of this, when Keir Starmer still hasn't repealed the absurd laws put out by Suella Braverman, the Nationality and Borders Act, the I can't remember the name of it now, and the Rwanda Act. These three laws the Illegal Migration Act, the Nationality and Borders Act, and the Rwanda Act, these three laws should go because they defy international law. And instead of all this, we are left in the worst of both worlds. Thousands in legal limbo, communities angry about indefinite hotel stays, far-right agitators weaponising isolated crimes, peaceful protesters criminalised under terrorism law for holding a piece of paper. It's a perfect storm of political cowardice and administrative incompetence. And the truth is that the Home Office is still operating on a model built for the early 2000s. Security theatre for headlines, endless procedural drift behind the scenes, and the result is not safety but spectacle, mass arrests that will embarrass the government in court, and a policy vacuum that lets extremists, whether in Parliament Square or Nuneaton, define the narrative. It is, in short, a hand-me-down tradition from Blunkett to May to Cooper, a culture of blunt instruments, squandered resources, rank stupidity, and missed chances to fix the structural problems. Until the changes, we will keep seeing weekends like this, and the country will keep paying for it in cash, in rights, and in credibility and reputation.